General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam Central Committee and State President Tô Lâm, his spouse, and a high-ranking delegation of Vietnam arrived at Jose Martin International Airport in Havana on September 25th evening local time, beginning a state visit to Cuba.
The visit of General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm is made at the invitation of First Secretary of the Communist Party of Cuba, Central Committee, and President of Cuba, Miguel Diaz-Canel Bermudez. This is Lam's first visit to Cuba in his capacity as Party General Secretary and State President. Cuba is also one of the first countries the Vietnamese top leader has visited. It is taking place in the context that the two countries will celebrate the 65th anniversary of the diplomatic relations in 2025. Earlier, Vietnamese top leader Tô Lâm had a meeting with U.S. President Joe Biden as part of his U.S. trip for the UN Summit of the Future and the high-level week of the 79th session of the UN General Assembly. At the event, the U.S. President extended condolences to Vietnam over the damage caused by Typhoon Yagi, while affirming that Washington stands ready to support Vietnam during the recovery process.
The United Nations Under-Secretary General for Peace Operations, Jean-Pierre Lacroix, has highly evaluated Vietnam's practical contributions to the organization, including its peacekeeping activities, not only for what has been achieved, but also for the cooperation between the two sides.
In an interview in New York following Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm attendance at the UN Summit of the Future and the 79th session of the UN General Assembly, the United Nations Under-Secretary General for Peace Operations, Jean-Pierre Lacroix, spoke highly of the quality of Vietnam's peacekeepers, adding that this development reflects the excellent level of cooperation between Vietnam and UN, as a ministerial meeting is expected to take place in the coming time. Focusing on future peacekeeping activities, the UN hopes that by then, participants will contribute good ideas to implementing peacekeeping mission effectively and in line with the current international context.
The Vietnamese embassies in Egypt and Lebanon on September 26 continue to recommend Vietnamese citizens living and working in Lebanon to leave the country, amid the risk that tensions between the Israeli army and Hezbollah escalate into a full-scale conflict.
The Vietnamese embassy in Egypt and Lebanon on Thursday continued to recommend Vietnamese citizens living and working in Lebanon leave the country. This repeats the same message sent 3 days before. In the latest urgent notice, the embassy also advised Vietnamese citizens who plan to go to Lebanon should postpone or cancel the trip. For Vietnamese citizens who cannot leave Lebanon due to force majeure, the embassy reiterated that they need to be vigilant, closely follow the situation on local media, refrain from gathering in crowded places, and absolutely do not go to the near southern area Beirut, nor the southern area near the border with Israel. According to the embassy, there are 13 Vietnamese citizens living and working in Lebanon, and the Vietnamese community in Lebanon is still safe until now.
Vietnam has been ranked 44th out of 133 countries and economies in the Global Innovation Index 2024 report, up 2 notches compared to the last year ranking.
According to the latest report released by the World Intellectual Property Organization on Wednesday, Vietnam sees an improvement in the Innovation Input Sub-Index, rising 4 notches to 53rd position. The Innovation Input Sub-Index comprises 5 pillars: institution, human capital and research, infrastructure, market sophistication and business sophistication. Vietnam maintains its second position among low-middle income countries for 15 years in a row. The Southeast Asian country has consistently achieved higher innovation results compared to its level of development, demonstrating effectiveness in converting input resources into innovation output.
The Hanoi Party Committee has decided to cancel all fireworks and drone performances for the 70th anniversary of the city's liberation, redirecting efforts toward recovery from Typhoon Yaghi's devastation.
Due to the latest meeting of the Hanoi leaders, the capital city will cancel 8 activities, including the fireworks display that was scheduled for October 10th at 30 locations across the city, as well as a drone light show to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the liberation of the capital. Hanoi also reviewed and decided to reschedule or adjust the scale and timing of various events. This move comes in response to the devastating aftermath of Typhoon Yaghi, which caused widespread damage in northern Vietnam, leaving 345 dead and missing. According to Vietnamese Ministry of Finance, the total estimated amount of damage and insurance benefits paid due to the storm and subsequent floods is up to more than 9 trillion Vietnam dong, equal to more than $345 million.